Can you guys hear me? Hello? You guys can hear me. I got a thumbs up. That's great. You are all on mute currently, except Karen. Karen's not on mute. Oh, now Karen's on mute. So hello, everyone. We are 13 people are popping on. We have a couple of minutes. I have my paint out. I have my stencil ready to go. We're going to start with our stencil and our makeup sponge and a little bit of our black paint. There's Annie. We're getting a full house tonight. So let's see how many we get. I believe there were 50 kits. So I don't think we're going to have 50 people on here. So if you need to unmute yourselves, I know on my computer in the bottom left, there's a little icon. It says mute. It looks like a microphone. It would have a red slash in it for you. If you click on it, the red slash should go away. And then you can talk. You can talk to me and everyone else can hear you. So it's not a secret, but I think you guys know that already. We will get started. Oh, it's right at 6 o'clock, so we can get started. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Teresa from Teresa's Silhouette Spot for all things art, where I love sharing art from my heart. Welcome, 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 everyone. I see a lot of you are hiding your faces. That's okay. As long as you can see me, I don't need to see you.
And just you can unmute yourself if you need to ask me a question. I have my board, my stencil. Some of you, I have clear, some of you have clear on your stencil, and some of you have like a beigeish, more of a papery cover to your stencil. Okay, it's the same way. That is called transfer tape. That is how we get our stencil moved to our board, which we are going to do first. Your guys' stencil, I tried to make this as easy as possible, should line up with your wood. Mine is a little bit more narrow and shorter. Your stencil should pretty much line up well with your board. If it's a little, if you want to get it centered, and if it's, you have some area on the top or area on the bottom, you know, play with it a little bit back and forth until you know, see about where you need it to be. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to get it from here onto our wood. Okay. Don't forget, this is being recorded. I will send the recording to Miss Angela, probably sometime tomorrow morning. It does take a while to convert and then me to upload it, so then I can send her the link. But you guys will have the link so you can paint this again, finish your project, go back to it for reference, you know, use what you learned tonight, painting this pumpkin to paint other pumpkins in the fall, whatever you need. And I am always here. You guys can find me on Facebook. My name is Teresa Grant, or you can find me at Teresa Silhouette Spot and message me if you have any questions or concerns, or just needed to know something about painting or what we were going over. Okay, so I have my stencil here. I don't know if you guys have scissors. If you do, that's good. If you don't, that's fine too. So find where the blue, see that, stays attached to your transfer tape in the front. Whether your transfer tape is this clear or that papery beige color, and separate maybe just the H. You want to peel it down about that far. Stencil paper, this blue stuff is called stencil material, stencil vinyl. It's sticky, but you can put it down, as long as you don't apply too much pressure. It is a little bit forgiving for you to move it around a little bit. So we're just going to take it and we're going to expose our H. Then if you have scissors, you can cut it. If you don't have scissors, you can just rip that part off and toss it to the side. So now this is what your back looks like.
It's Josephine. I can't get that paper off the back.
Do you have a nail? Try a different corner maybe, and maybe you can start from the bottom, and you can peel yours back and expose your E instead of your H. Okay. You know, sometimes it's a little hard to get it started.
Okay, neither one is cooperating with me right now.
Really? Yep.
All right, let me.
And you definitely have three layers. You have a clear or the tan, the blue, and then the white.
Try cutting a piece of the white off.
I think she couldn't get them to separate.
I can't get the white off at all, Teresa.
But if she cuts it, she's starting with a new edge.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you can cut a piece off the whole, you have room between your H and the border.
Okay.
You just cut a little bit off, and that will give you like a fresh edge. And then maybe you can get your nail in there, or a straight pin or something. If you have a camera and you open it, maybe I can help you a little more. I don't know if you are not camera ready or you don't have a camera.
Hold on just a sec.
There she is. Hi.
Hi there. I just cut the edge off a little.
Okay. Let me see.
I still can't get the back. Doesn't want to cook. Oh, here we go.
There we go. Okay,
Here we
good.
go.
Yeah. So you just want to expose maybe that you started from the top with the H? Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna switch cameras now so you guys can see what I'm doing.
Teresa,
Yes,
can you just tell me again which piece we need to peel off?
we want to
I
peel the
have-
white away from the blue.
Okay, the white away from the blue?
Yep, the back part. Your back, it should have lettering on it and a grid.
So that's this piece,
That's
this
that piece.
side.
Yep, that's what we want to pull
So-
away.
Oh, shit, I pulled the other one away.
And
So
just
did-
cut a
so did
piece
I.
off, Teresa?
Excuse me?
Just cut a piece off, correct?
Yes. See, I took the back, so now you can see through it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's the piece we want to take off.
I took off the other piece by accident.
Who said that?
Irene, I don't know,
Okay.
can you see?
I did the same thing. My name is Teresa.
So
So what do you-
if you took
I
it,
took the clear part off, but I'm,
right,
I
if you
put
took
it
the
back.
clear part off and you even cut the clear part,
I did, but I put it back and I separated
I was gonna
the,
say, you can put the clear part back, or just make sure your H doesn't fold in on itself.
got it. Yes,
So either put the clear part back on, or make sure your H stays
Cover?
up, erect, standing, whatever. Okay? Okay. So now I'm going to switch. So here we go. Okay, I have my board. I'm going to center my H on here. Like I said, yours, guys, like if you put your blue with the top of your board, you should be fine as far as how big your stencil is. I have to move mine down a little bit because of the way I cut my stencil. And it is a little forgiving. So you want to line up your blue, your H straight, and then give it a little press. When you think it's where you want it and you think it's fairly straight, we're gonna give it a little press down. Okay? Trying to make
You're
this-
putting the sticky side down?
the sticky side down. Yep.
Okay.
So I have the sticky side down here under my hand. Okay. Then I'm taking the rest of it, my M and my E, and I'm flipping it up to expose this paper again. And that's where we cut it, my H, my O cut. We're not gonna worry about that. So this is where we ripped it or cut it or whatever. So we have our wood, then we have our blue H that we stuck down. We have our hand on top of it here. We flipped this up and we grabbed our white paper. And then we're going to gently take off our white paper. And you guys, I'm sliding my hand down my board while I pull out this white paper. If that's too hard for you, just pull out your white paper while your H is stuck to your board. Make sure you don't, you want your E to stay and your M to stay. If this is garbage now, you can throw that over there. And now we have our entire stencil, and we're just going to lay it down on our board and then smooth it out and apply some pressure to get it to stick to our wood. We really need it to stick to our wood. Okay, and the better we rub it, the heat from our hands helps it stick, and we want a nice seal on it. If you have a credit card or the edge of a book, or even if your phone has a cover and it's your rubber cover, you can use your phone with the rubber cover to gently push down around your letters. Like this. Or if you have a credit card, I had put that on the list. This is what we use our credit card for. And we scrape down our letters. Okay. And then we separate it once again. We're going to keep the blue on the board and we're going to take off the clear. If it lifts a little bit, don't worry about it. Just go back and rub it down again. And then in your case, the clear that you're peeling off, that's garbage too. I don't know why mine's not sticking very well. Your guys is sticking better than mine. Trying to avoid that. Sometimes it's good to have two hands because you want to keep two hands, one hand down on it as you pull away with the other hand.
It's wrong.
What's wrong?
It's too far over.
I know, honey. You can't pull that up or else we're gonna move it now.
If you are too far over and you don't like your location, don't pull your plastic off. Try and lift it and replace it. And recenter it wherever you want it without taking your plastic off first.
Oh.
This is a little tricky.
Oh,
This is
okay.
actually harder than what we're gonna paint.
Can do.
Okay.
Like I said, this blue material, this stencil material is a little forgiving.
That's all right. That's all right.
It's not a one-time deal where, see, I'm even lifting mine up and moving it over a little bit. You just want to make sure then you get your letters laid out the way they're supposed to be.
I just wish I could get this in the center because I can't see it this way. Okay. Get rid of this. All right, let me go over there. Put the board where this white is right here.
Guys, I don't usually have as much trouble with this stuff. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm off the camera, sorry. So now I have mine and I'm using my finger and I'm going around all the letters, trying to make a nice seal so we can do our
Renee is gonna
stencil.
put it.
Lisa, if I have a bubble, how do I get rid of that?
Do you have a bubble by one of your letters or do you have a bubble where the blue is?
A bubble with the blue.
It doesn't
In
matter if you have a
between.
bubble. The only thing we need to be secure and no bubbles is the shapes of our letters.
Okay,
If
How
any of
come
the blue is bubbling up, that doesn't matter. We're not doing anything with that.
okay.
On yours, how come you have a
I don't
circle where the O is?
Want to wait until people on the tour?
I cut an O because my stencil that I use has an O in it. You
Have any
guys don't need an O. I'm not even gonna do the O. That's why I didn't peel it off.
All right, now it's better.
Oh, we don't have an O though.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have an O.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
And then see, I'm using my fingers and I'm going in here and I'm trying to get my letters to stick down real good. And there we go. I got a pretty nice seal around all my letters now. A lot of rubbing and heat from my fingers helps. Okay, and we're not gonna
You don't want the
worry
pink
about,
to get rid of the blue, right?
we're not gonna worry about my O.
That's so we don't get paint underneath our blue.
Yes. Because the only letters we're stenciling are the H, the M, and the E. And that's why we have our makeup sponge and our black paint.
Wow.
Would it be possible to put the volume up a little bit?
I don't think it's my volume. It might be your volume. Is anybody else having trouble hearing me?
Okay.
'Cause if I put my volume up, I think I just get my speakers louder.
Alright,
Does that help at
that's
all?
better.
I can hear you well and all the people that aren't muted well.
Okay. All right.
It's better. Did you get insulted or something?
What?
Did you get mad or something?
There we go. I muted everyone. Does that help? I muted everyone and I pinned me. So I should be on the big screen. And like I said, don't worry about the O. And I should be on everyone's big screen. So, the trick to stenciling, well, there's two tricks to stenciling. One is less paint and the other is patience. So both are equally challenging. If you guys have your black paint ready, if you have a tablecloth you're not concerned about, oh, you can use, you know what? You can use this part of your stencil. I'll show you what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna take my makeup sponge. I dip in the cap here for now, and I'm gonna dip in the cap. Before I go to my board, I'm gonna come over here on the stencil part that I don't care about, and I'm gonna tap it 10 to 12 times. We want it to look like it's almost out of paint. When you start running out of paint, that's when you're ready to stencil. And you guys can use around or this whole section here that you have because you don't have an O. And then we're just gonna start gently tapping. See how light that coverage is? You can hardly see that. But that is one of the secrets to not having bleeds. Now, I'm not gonna say we're not gonna have any bleeds. I'm just saying it helps to cut down on the bleeds. And I put a little piece of tape here because my E was a little close to the edge. So I just put a little tape there so I don't get it on my board. If you have a scrap piece of paper or a paper towel and you have the same issue, you can just cover it up like that. These are all like the little tricks you come up with when you've been doing these things a long time. So I dipped in my paint again. I'm pouncing it off. You can even count to 12 or 15 if you want. Like I said, when you start running out of paint, that's when you can go in and start pouncing in your letter. If you see your stencil lifts up because you didn't get to it yet, just use your finger and push it down again. And we're just going to keep repeating. We'll probably end up doing each letter 2 to 3 times. And it's up to you. If you want a very sparse look, maybe you're only going to do yours twice. If you want a really dark look, maybe you want to do yours 3 times. But that's totally up to you. So I'm on to my H here, and I'm not pounding. It's not like I'm pounding veal. I'm just lightly pouncing the makeup sponge so we get our base coat down for our stencil. See, look, I hardly have any coverage. And then what I do is I pick up paint and I start again. You can even get paint that you've pounced off. You can pick that up on your makeup sponge. You go back over it. You can pick it up from here, pounce it off someplace else, and then keep going. It's up to you if you want to dip back in your paint or pick up what you pounced off. But that is really the trick to stenciling, is a light pounce and less paint. And even sometimes, like, you see how I have lines where it's darker and lighter? Once you get to your second coat, it all gets nice and even, so don't worry about that. And this is going to be the base of our signs. Hopefully, I don't know if anybody heard the weather, but hopefully the weather will hold out. We've been having some crazy, crazy storms these past couple of weeks. Thank goodness I haven't lost power, but it still makes me nervous to be on my computer, just in case. So I'm on my second coat. I'm doing my H, my second coat of my H, and I think that I'll be happy with 2 coats. I don't think I'll need a third coat. If you guys think you need a third coat, that's up to you. And that's my coverage for this. Let me switch. So like I said, ignore my O, and I know my letters are backwards, but that's okay. And I think that's good for me for the coverage that I have. It's not dark and perfect, but I think it's plenty dark enough. And these signs, you know, they're just planks. They're kind of rustic anyway. So we want that rustic look to them. Like I said, if you have any questions, just, you know, unmute yourself and I will be happy to answer or see what it is if you're having some issues or it's not working. And then when we're done with this part, we're just going to put this aside for now. There we go. Because we're going to be done with this part and we're just going to put it aside. I'm going to stand it up next to my desk and it's all good. Don't worry, I'm not rushing you guys. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
admiring your studio.
Thank you. It was a spare bedroom and I took it over. I share it with my husband, but he gets this part that's in the closet.
That works.
Yeah. So you guys keep stenciling away. I'm just gonna chit chatter and get my paints out. You guys already have your paints out because they came in little cups. I designed this so we would be using the same paint colors. That's how I picked. I wanted it to represent the seasons, but I also wanted it to make it simpler for all of us to just be using some of the same paint colors. So with our sunflower and our pumpkin, we're going to be using the yellow and the orange and the brown, but just in different amounts. And then the same goes for our ornament and our watermelon. Oh, ornament, our watermelon, we're gonna use the green and the red, and you have kind of like a berry color, a burgundy color. That's what we're gonna use for our ornament, for our watermelon. And then we're gonna use the red and the green for our ornament. This way, cut down a little bit on the paints that I had to give you guys. Trying to make it a little bit more simple. So give you guys a few more minutes to be stenciling, and then we'll start out with our pumpkin shape and our sunflower shape. Although this is more of a flower shape, we're going to make this a sunflower shape. We're going to make it into a sunflower.
Is there a correct side, Teresa, on these?
On the wood cutouts,
Yes.
there is not.
Okay, thank you.
Nope. Some of the, like on the back of them, these are cut with a laser. So they'll have these spots. So if you want, that could technically be the back side. But there really isn't. Like say you were partial to how you wanted your stem to go for some reason, that's totally up to you. There isn't. And then these are the other two. This is going to be an ornament, and this is a piece of watermelon with the bite taken out.
Teresa,
Yes.
on those sticky round things,
Yeah.
I have 4 hard ones and only 1 soft one. I'm missing 3.
What are you missing again?
Oh, wait a minute. No, never mind. Now, I need, when we go to put the things on,
Yeah.
I have 1, 2, 3.
Because one loopy thing
Four.
goes in the board and then the other.
Yes. Yes. So you have one for it's loop. It's
Velcro.
Velcro. It's Velcro. Sorry, I just lost it. It's Velcro. So the single one is what's going to go on your board.
Board. Oh, okay. Sorry
The
about
other
that.
4 is what's
Will
going to go
go
on
in the
each
back.
of these to change them in and out.
Okay.
So some of you
Got it.
will have 4 hoop and 1 loop, and a hook, 4 hook and 1 loop, and then the opposite. So you should have
Gotcha.
5 of them, 4 of the same and 1 other one. Okay. And I forgot the name Velcro for a minute, because in my world where I sell these signs and whatnot and advertise for them, I'm not allowed to use the word Velcro. We have to call it hook and loop.
Trade name.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So. Okay. Everybody ready? Okay. So I have out these two shapes. You guys have a big brush, believe like a smaller liner brush. I have these two shapes and I have these colors out first. My orange and my yellow and a little bit of brown. And we're going to start, I think we'll start with the pumpkin. So there are two ways we can do this, and I will show you guys both ways.
Can I ask a quick question?
I don't have any brown.
Yeah, I don't have
Oh, you
any
know what?
brown.
You don't have any brown. You guys can use green. Use the dark green. You guys should have dark green. I'll use the dark green too. We'll use the dark green for the stem. You are absolutely right. There we go. So we're going to use our yellow, our orange, and our dark green.
What's the other color? A red and a burgundy?
Yeah, the red and the berry burgundy and the greens we're going to use for the these colors. We're going to use for the watermelon, and then mostly the green and the red we're going to use for the ornament. You guys will be surprised when you see the watermelon. We paint the watermelon with a mixture of red and that burgundy berry color to give it a little bit.
Teresa?
Yes.
I do not have dark green. I have like a minty green and black and like that bright green. I don't have a dark green.
I don't either.
I have bright green also.
Do you have
Me
two
too.
greens?
Yes.
Yes.
A light
You-
green and a regular green.
Yeah, use the dark. You have like an emerald green and then like a bright green, right?
I have like a minty green, like a light mint seafoam green maybe,
Yeah.
and then the bright regular primary green.
Yeah,
Yeah.
use the primary green.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So back to, we're going to start with our pumpkin. And there are
What do we
two,
need the green for?
yeah, we're going to need the green for our pumpkin stem.
Oh,
Use
okay.
brown.
If you have browns, I was told we didn't have brown.
I have brown from another kit.
Oh, then you can use brown from another kit. That's up to you.
Thank you.
It's your project. Yeah, only thing we're using green for in this part is this little tiny stem. And we're actually going to put a little yellow highlights in there too. So, okay. So one of the rules to painting is when you want to blend, you want your colors, your paint to both be wet. When you want to fix something, you want to be patient and let it dry, and then you can go back and fix it. So I will show you guys two ways to do our pumpkin. One of the ways is to pick up orange paint and go in here and just start painting with our orange paint. And we might have some covered and it's still wet. We're going to pick up a corner of yellow and just go in here and start blending the yellow. Then we're going to pick up some orange and we're going to start blending in more orange. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is when I double load my brush and I put one corner in orange and one corner in yellow at the same time. And I work that into my brush. And see, I have half orange, half yellow, and I work it into my brush. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to paint a C. I'm going to go down and then we're going to stroke up and we're going to keep the orange the same side it's on and the yellow the same side it's on. And then we're going to pick up more orange and more yellow and we're going to make them meet and we're going to make another C. So if this is too hard for you, you don't like the way it looks, you're not happy with it, you can go back to the way I did it over here where I painted my whole thing orange. And then I just picked up some yellow and blended in some yellow. Okay. And when we do our pumpkin, you see I was doing C's over here. When we get to the middle, we don't want to do a C anymore. When we get to the middle, we want to move to this side. And now we want to do a backward C. I'm going to pick up some more orange and some more yellow. And we're doing another backwards C. A little orange, a little yellow. And now we're just filling in the middle. When we paint, we want our designs to have more than one color and a lot of different variation and shades. So this is the side I did by double loading and getting 2 colors of paint on my brush at once. And I came in here and I painted C's like this. And then I came over here, I put the orange to the outside and I painted a C this way. If you want, you can go on this, the way I did this side, and paint the whole thing orange. Following the shape of the pumpkin. And then come back here and pick up a little bit of yellow and just blend it in. And then we have all that variation in our pumpkin. I'm gonna stand mine up because both sides of mine are wet now, but you could guys, let me move the paint up so you guys can see it. Is that making sense to everyone?
Yes.
I get these old big wall calendars from my job. And I just stack them underneath. So I have my desktop, then I have a plastic table, and then I just keep stacking these big wall calendars. And when they get yucky, I just rip it off. And then the next one I rip it off. We have had a bunch of them left over from 2020. And this is my other side. We don't usually use water when we're using acrylic paints. But if it looks like your paint is a little dry or your brush is making dry strokes, just put a little more paint on your brush. Make sure you load your brush up really good by working it into the paint a little bit, applying a little pressure. So when you push down on your brush, see how my bristles of my brush flare out? That's how it's picking up the paint because I'm giving a little bit of a push to it and all those separate bristles are picking up paint. So don't be afraid to have too much paint on your brush.
Teresa, it's Annie. Do we paint both sides of the pumpkin or just one?
No, I was just showing you the
Oh,
way.
okay.
You're not
Just
gonna
wanted to
see the
make
other
sure.
side.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just showing you the 2 different techniques. That's why I painted both sides, but no. You're gonna put the Velcro on one of your sides and then
Right.
it's gonna go in the middle of your sign.
That's what I thought. All right, thank you.
You won't see it.
Hey, Dimwit, come here.
Wait, who said that?
Well,
Okay, another minute or so, we will start on our sunflower. If I'm going too fast, let me know. If I'm going too slow, let me know. And like I said, don't fret if you can't stay on. This is being recorded and I will send the recording to Miss Angela for her to send out via email to you guys. It's nice to see so many familiar faces and familiar names. Thanks, you guys. Okay, I'm going to get started on my flower now. We're going to do the same thing, but the base of our sunflower is yellow because sunflowers are yellow.
I'm
not-
sorry,
Yes.
sorry, Teresa, the Zoom knocked me off. I just got back on.
Oh, no, who said that?
Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. So you didn't finish your pumpkin?
No, we were doing the thing. Did we paint the top yet, the stem?
We did not.
Okay,
Nope.
okay, so I'm good.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, I don't know, all of a sudden, there was nothing.
But what I just said too, knocking on wood. I hope storms don't roll in and we're safe.
Yeah, I didn't see any. I can
Okay,
check.
good. I'm trying to make this simple so we're not washing and dipping in new paint and changing paint back and forth. So we're still going to use the same brush. Obviously, we only have one brush. We're still using the same brush we have. I'm
Mhm.
not even going to clean it or put it in water. I'm
Oh, I
just
did.
going to go in and pick up more yellow because even though we're using orange and yellow on our sunflower, it's mostly yellow as opposed to our pumpkin, which is mostly orange. Okay. And I'm going in and I'm taking my yellow mixed with my orange. See how it's still streaky because of my dirty brush?
Okay.
And I am painting outward. I'm starting in the middle. I have to pick up a little bit more yellow paint. And I am moving out and turning it around as I go. And I keep flipping over. I'm going to pick up a little bit of orange this time. I keep turning my brush over. Once I run out of paint on this side, I flip it over and then I keep going around a little bit more until I run out of paint on the other side. Don't worry if you don't meet in the middle. We're going to do a center in the middle. So I'm picking up a little bit more yellow paint, a corner, just a corner in the orange. And I'm just pulling out from the center. And I know it probably doesn't look like much to you guys yet, but it will. I picked
Does
up,
it matter if some orange is on this flower?
no, we want orange. Nope, we want orange. I'm using yellow and I'm even, if I run out of orange, I'm putting the little corner in orange. Because we want some orange in our sunflower. We want that variation of colors. That's why we didn't even clean our brush or put it in water or anything. If your middle is covered, that's okay. It doesn't matter. We're going to add a center to our flower anyway. So we're not going to worry about that right now. But we just want to pull out and we're having mixes of all yellows and oranges because as we mix the yellow and the orange, it's making all kinds of different shades. I'm just getting a little white out and ready. So these are our, where we're at so far. Show you guys if this is a better angle, I don't know. This is what we have so far. We have our pumpkin and the start base coat of our sunflower flower.
Teresa,
Yes,
that looks very yellow compared to what I have. Like, I guess mine looks a little more
if you have,
orangey. Oh, how do I get?
actually,
there?
when I see yours, yours looks nice and golden.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
That's-
What about this,
Okay.
Teresa?
That it's, everybody's lighting is different. That looks fine to me, Josephine. But if
Okay.
you wanted it more yellow, take your brush, don't put it in water, but take your brush, wipe it off in the paper towel. Squish, 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 and pull it. And then maybe go back if you want your flower to be more yellow. You don't have to wash it, and then just add yellow into your brush, yellow alone, and
Okay.
get some yellow streaks into it.
Okay.
But so mine is a little, I don't know. Here, let me see. See when I put it closer, how much more orange it is?
Right.
But
Okay.
back here, it almost looks more yellow. It really depends
Yes.
on our monitors and our lighting. You know, right now the sun hasn't gone down and my window's open. In 45 minutes, it'll probably look, you know, really orange. So. Anybody else want to show or have any questions? We're good? Oh, nice, Heidi. Cool. Okay. And Karen, good one. And Susie, I can see. Yep, nice. See, you guys have nice variation and nice shading there. That's really good. Okay. Now we're going to get our liner brush and our white paint. I'm going to put this brush, the brush that we've been using all this time now, I'm going to put it in my water.
Oh,
And I'm going to get out my liner brush, and I have some white paint now on my plate. These are plastic plates that I use. Sometimes I use styrofoam. Sometimes I'll use a piece of foil, and I'll just put the foil down and put my paint on the foil and then just crumple it up. So these I like to use because I'll wash these. Obviously, the paint doesn't come completely off, but then I don't feel like I'm wasting so much because I would go through a lot of styrofoam plates. But I do. Okay. Now we're going to use our liner brush. And when we use our liner brush, see how it's all frayed and crazy right now? When you use your liner brush, we put it in the side and we give it a twirl. We want to get paint on it and we twirl it. You guys might have like shorter ones than I do because a shorter one is a little bit easier to control. But I use this longer one now, but I know you guys have shorter ones. And you want it, you know, to have it on there so it looks more controllable and not some crazy hair. Okay. And when we do our flower, we're going to make, I mean, this is a little bit of a crazy one. We're going to paint in our petals as if we were doing a daisy. And we line our petals like this, going around. But instead, we're going to do this with our brush with paint. So we're going to be taking that as if, you know, we were making just like a little doodly flower. We're going to come in from the inside and we're going to go around and we're going to add some of these petals. And because this is cut the way it's cut, some of them will go to the tip and some won't, because it appears like some are in the front and some are in the back. And that's okay. Then we'll just come in here and we'll put a little V up in here. And we're just going to come around. And yours may not be in the same exact spots mine are. I'm trying to follow the big ones. And then I'm adding in these little V's to the ones that are in the back. Like that. And then we have our petals. But we're not done with that yet. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me show you. I have this big one here that I painted on this piece of wood. But in here, so the bottom is all base coated, just like we did it with a mixture of orange and yellow. Then I came in here and I put brown, I put orange, I put white. In here I have a little gold. So I built on these lines, and that's the same thing we're going to do with the colors that we have. We're going to use some of the green that we have. Oh, I just put this in the paint. And the orange and the yellows by themselves to add more detail and color to our petals. As I said, this is always a process. So you might be looking at your flower and being like, ooh, I don't really like that. But it's a process. So as we go through it and we add the details, you'll see how it all comes together. So now I'm going to pick up a little bit of orange, and I'm not going to do every one like I did with the white. I'm just going to go in and maybe every other line, add some orange like that.
Teresa, how do you make the little ones in between the thing?
So I made the big ones with 2, and then I just made a little V.
So you, okay, connect, let me see, connected that, so you're coming into that.
Oh, this one needs a line. I missed that one. Yeah. So like here, I made the 2, like this petal on my little 3rd grade flower here. So that would be this one and this one, but then in between.
So you're doing like every other one with the bigger.
Yeah. And then in between, I did like that V for the background one. Just saw one that I missed. Oh, wait, there it is. And then I just went in and I added some orange, and I'm still not washing my brush. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add straight yellow to some. I'm doing some of the V's. And then I'm even going to, now I'm gonna clean my brush. And I'm gonna pick up some of the green. But we only want a few of these. We don't want our green to take over. And I'm just gonna go in here and add them in a couple of spots. There we go. Just to make like a little low lights to them. Pick it up. And it still looks a little weird, but once we add our center, it's going to connect all those lines and it's not going to look unfinished. And then when you're done with your lines, I'm washing my liner brush, and I'm also going to take out my bigger brush too, because we're going to go back to using the bigger brush. I'm going to squeeze all the water out of it like this.
Is that black or brown that you put in the middle?
So I did these lines in green. I'm
Oh, in
going
green.
to go put green in the middle.
Okay.
So now I'm going to use this brush and I'm going to put green in the middle and I'm going to do my green stem.
Can't do these stripes.
Which green? The primary green?
The primary green, yes.
Okay.
So I'm just picking up a little bit of the green. And I'm just adding it to my stem. And then I'm going to put a circle in the middle of my flower. If you want to trace your paint cup, that's probably a good size to trace. If you just want to wing it and use the brush like I am, that's fine too. If you have something else around to trace, it's up to you.
I lost you.
What's me?
Yeah, okay, never mind, came back.
Okay, good. I put a center in my flower with the green and I painted my stem with the green. So it probably looks real dark to you guys, right? But it's green.
We put brown if we have brown?
You can put brown if you have brown. You can put brown for both if you have brown.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of paint.
That's up to you guys. Sometimes when I do the center of my sunflowers, I do like, it's called burnt sienna. It's kind of like a brownish rusty color and black.
Like that. Red, brown.
Yeah, it's like a reddish brown and black. That's what I put in the center. But like I said, you know. You guys, when you're done tonight, the brushes you have are fairly good brushes. So give them a nice wash, a little dish soap, warm water. Give them a nice, like use the palm of your hand and get them nice and clean. And when you put them to dry, don't stand them up. I know a lot of times, and I used to do this, you think, oh, let me just put these in a cup holder or a pen holder, whatever, and we stand them up. No, you want to lay them down to dry because you don't want the water and the paint to settle in this metal part, which is called the ferrule. So when you, after you wash it with a little dish soap, just lay it down. paper towel, your drain board, whatever, to dry. Now I'm going to take back to my liner brush that I washed. I'm going to use the back of my brush. I'm going to pick up some yellow paint. And I'm just going to add a little dots to the center of my flower. Just like that. No rhyme or reason. Some are bigger, some are smaller. The first one you do is going to be the biggest. It's going to have the most paint, and then they're going to get smaller as you go. And then I'm going to take the brush part of my liner brush, and I'm just going to trace my stem. Like that. And that's it. And we have our pumpkin and our flower done. I could even take, now that I'm looking at this. You can take this if you feel comfortable doing it. I'm just doing my liner brush and I'm adding very, very, very fine lines around my flower center and pulling out with my liner with the green. Just adding a little bit more detail to it. You don't have to, it just occurred to me when I was looking at mine when I put my brush down. There we go. So, let's see, what do you guys think? We are at the hour mark. Do you guys want to take a 5-minute break, or you want to just keep going and do our watermelon and our ornament? It's up to you guys.
I think we can go.
I need to catch up.
Okay, so you know what? Let's take a 5-minute break. I'm just gonna mute me. I'll mute everyone and me.
Can
And
I
then,
do,
I'll leave these here for you guys. And we'll just break for 5 minutes and I will be back at, I have 7:04 now. I'll be back at 7:09. What do you think?
Fine.
Teresa, can I do this flower like with the,
Oh, wait, I just muted you. Whoever you were talking, unmute yourself, sorry. Was that Nancy? I can't hear you. You're muted.
can I do this later? Because I can't get these lines to go.
Yeah, of course you could do it later. And you'll have the recording.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to mute you and mute me, and I will be back. I'll be back in 4 minutes now. I'll be back at 7:08. Give you guys a chance to catch up, and then we will move on to our red and greens. Hello, I'm back. How's everybody doing? Anybody watching Shark Week this week? That's always fun. Though I can't believe it's the middle of July already. It's craziness. So I'm gonna get out my pumpkin and my ornament. And I'll put these.
Can I
aside.
just see the pumpkin again?
Yeah.
Yellow, okay. Yeah, I wanted to see what colors you put in there. Thank you.
Yeah, yellow and orange.
Okay.
And then I'm covering up my other sunflower with this flower.
Tell me if my sunflower has any hope.
Let me see. Who said that? I can't see.
Karen,
I might have, oh, you know what I have to do? I have to switch.
looks horrible.
Let me see. Art can never look horrible. Heidi's
This
looks
is-
good. Who's am I looking at that says it's horrible? All
Me, Karen.
right, let me see. That does not look horrible.
Mine is very stylized. Can I show you?
Stylized. There's a word for you. Sure.
Like a mom.
Where is it?
Right, can you see it?
That's good.
Oh, you know what? Let me
It looks to me
wait. I'm
more like
switching
a
to the
mum
camera
than
view.
a
Okay,
sunflower.
hold up.
Looks
Hold
like a
up. Let me
cookie.
see.
No.
All right, I gotta switch pages here. Okay, who's holding up now? Karen's, Heidi's. I see Heidi's pumpkin. Cute little curl on your pumpkin, Heidi. Lisa's. Lisa's, you might have a little too much green. So you set it aside for now to dry a little bit, and then you can go back over your green with yellow with your liner brush later.
Please look at mine,
No, who said that?
Irene.
Irene. Let me see. Are you holding it up?
I am. Can you, do I have my,
You know what? I can't even see you, Irene. You have no picture. For some reason. It just says Irene, but there's no image.
My sunflower came out disgusting.
Ugh, who said that? I don't want to hear that. Who said theirs is disgusting? There's no disgusting in art. What you guys can do if you want, I can hold mine up. I'll pin me. And you can, let's see.
What I have to do, I think I do, I have too much paint on it, so I
Let
have
me
to
see,
wait.
Karen.
Huh?
Yeah, you have to, if you want to change it a little bit and it's still wet.
I have too much paint on it, I think, and every time I went to do it, it kind of bled into each other.
Yeah, so let it dry a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you can go back over it. You'll double load the big brush that we were using and just go back over with your yellow and your orange and pull out again.
Okay.
Not mine, Teresa. I just
Well,
got the dots in.
That's cute, Agnes.
Thank you. My friends call me Aggie.
Oh, sorry, that's cute,
That's okay.
Aggie. I had an Aunt Aggie, so I should just call you Aggie.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. If you want, you guys, and you have your phone and you're not watching me on your phone and you want a screenshot, I'll change my camera and you can screenshot this way if you want to go back to painting and you don't want to look at the video, but you want to paint and look and have a reference photo. I'll put these here and you can take a picture of the screen with your phone. Okay, okay. All righty then. I'm getting out my ornament and my watermelon. And then I'm going to get out my red and my burgundy and my other green because I only have that one green. So I'm putting my greens next to each other for double loading purposes. And then I'm just going to do my red.
Should we have 2 greens?
Yep, both greens, and then your red, and then your other one is like a berry burgundy color.
All right, 2 greens. I only see one.
There's in a tube.
One might be, yeah, one might be in a tube. So somewhere in cups, and then one somewhere in those little jars, like those little bottles with the white cap.
The greens next to each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else do we need? We need, you guys have a little black, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put a tiny little bit of black. Okay. So add out my greens, my red and my berry burgundy color, a little bit of black. We're gonna start with our watermelon and our big brush. I washed mine and now I'm drying it off on my paper towels. Okay. So we are going to double load this brush like we did with our pumpkin before when we mixed the orange and the yellow. I'm going to put a corner in one green. Oop, that's that too long. And a corner in my other green. And then I'm making this little runway. See how I have one color green on one side and the other color green on the other side?
Yes.
I have half green. The 2 greens like that. I'm going to keep the dark to the outside. I'm going to, so watch me first when we do this and then you guys can do it. I'm going to line my brush up with the edge. We're painting the watermelon rind. So I'm going to lay my brush here. I'm lining it up with the top edge and the outer edge of the watermelon. And I'm going to keep my brush flat and I'm going to follow the shape. I don't mind that I ran out of paint because I'm still getting the mark where I want it. I'm still putting the paint where I want it, even though I ran out. And I swooped around the whole thing. And even though I ran out of paint, you can see where it's dark and where it's light. So I'm just gonna go pick up some more paint. One corner in the dark, one corner in the light. I'm working it into my bristles of my brush. I'm gonna come back up here and lay it down again, keeping my dark to the outside. And I'm gonna lay down. And I'm following the shape of the watermelon. When I run out of paint, I flip my brush over and I go up. And we're just gonna keep staying on the same line with the same brush. These wood pieces sometimes suck up a lot of paint. And we're just going to keep until we get decent coverage, stroking back and forth with our paint. I mean, see how many times I probably just went over that 5 or 6 times. Oh, I put it in the wrong color. See, it happens. So I'm gonna pick up my dark, I'm gonna pick up my light, and then I'm gonna come here and I'm doing the other side. So it's laying at the top and I'm just following the round curve of the watermelon seed rind right there. Okay. I got a little bit on there, that's okay. Fingers. So I accidentally put my finger in the green paint and then touch this. So I'm just rubbing it off. So it's not too much there when I have to cover it with the red paint when we get to the red part. Came right off. As much as I needed it to anyway. And that is our watermelon rind. And mine's not perfect. You can see some of it is thicker, some of it is thinner, but that's okay. It's watermelon rind. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to rinse my brush. Okay. Now I'm going to put red on my brush, red on both sides, and then I'm going to dip the corner in that burgundy berry color. And I'm going to paint the inside of my watermelon.
You only want a dab of the burgundy?
Only a dab. We might want to wait for this to dry a little bit and do our ornament instead. It's hard to hold it down and paint at the same time. I just stood up here on the chisel edge of my brush and I came in here and I outlined the red part. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more burgundy and I'm gonna fill it in. And it just adding that little bit of berry to it. It just gives it a little bit more dimension than using the one color red. It's almost like it's shaded. You really can't even tell it's two different colors. Like you can probably tell on yours and I can tell on mine, but you can't tell on mine. If that makes sense. Okay. And then when we're done with the inside of our watermelon, we're going to put that aside for a little bit and let that dry and move to our ornament. Anybody have any questions? Oh, what happened? There we go. Okay.
Are we gonna paint seeds in the watermelon?
We are. Well, we're gonna let our red dry before we paint the seeds.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
what, yep. We're gonna use our liner brush and the black and a little bit of white on our seeds. But yes, we're gonna add seeds. For Josephine, my name, well, you know, my name is Teresa. My birthday is March 18th. So apparently if my birthday had been March 19th, I would have been named Josephine after St. Joseph. Instead, I'm named Teresa after my grandmother.
Definitely those pastries will do it. Are we washing our brush out, Teresa?
You don't have to wash your brush out. Well, okay, that depends. I'm going to do my ornament in red. If you want to do your ornament in green, you can wash your brush out and do your ornament in green. I'm going to do my ornament in red and then do the design in green. So that's up to you guys. So you can either leave your brush dirty and we're going to do red on our ornament, or you can wash it out and do green on your ornament. Or you can do your ornament something totally different as well. You can do it all burgundy. You do it in yellow and orange if you want. It's your ornament and your project. I'm leaving my brush dirty because I'm just going to go into the red and I'm going to paint this whole circle red and then let it dry so we can add some design to it. Okay. I'm just going to pick up red. I'm not even washing my brush. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to skip the top where the top of the ornament would be, where the ornament hook goes. And I'm just base coating this whole thing in red. Give it a nice coat. If you think yours needs a second coat, we'll give it a few minutes to dry and then we'll go back and we'll do a second coat. Okay, and now I'm going to put my brush in water. I'm actually taking a painting class myself on Thursday. One of my friends that I call from my painting family, she is working on getting her Donna Dewberry Elite certification. There were all different levels. So she has to design and host a workshop. So I signed up for her workshop. We're painting a floral arrangement. Well, she's painting hers on a box lid. I don't know if I'm going to put mine on a box lid. I might just put it on a canvas. So I'm looking forward to that. She's a really good artist and a good friend of mine. So, and I love when I paint with other women, because even I'm not at their level, but it's so fun to see like all of us, and even this whole group here, we're all using the same paint colors and the same paint and the same shapes and all that. And everyone's are always so different because everyone has a different touch, a different feel. Some people are much more heavy-handed. Some people are light-handed. So it's always fun. I love to paint with my paint family, and it's a pretty design that she came up with. And I love how unique everyone's always looks. So even people that have been painting forever, once they paint together and they even paint the same thing, none of them look alike. I mean, you can tell it's the same design, but nobody's look alike.
Teresa,
Yes.
I have to leave. So thank you. I finished my watermelon.
Oh, how cute. Good
And
job.
I'll do my ornament by myself
Okay.
tomorrow.
Yeah, and when you do your ornament, you know, I'm just gonna put some design on it, make it your own.
Okay, I will.
And like,
How are your girls?
they're
how are
good,
your
thank
kids?
you. They're good.
I used to drive them to school years and years and years ago.
I know your son is, I saw him on the street in Patchogue one night. Didn't you used to have your
Bo?
son on? Bo.
John.
Bo.
Bo?
Bo.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh my husband and I were crossing the street and I was like, you're Heidi's son. You're Bo. You used to be on the bus. He was like, okay.
He goes, you're strange, lady.
I just loved you. I don't even know if this is going to be weird. Remember you had those really cool short olds from Coles with the embroidered hem on the bottom, and I love
Yep.
them. See?
Mhm. You remember.
My
Well,
girls are
it's so
doing
nice.
well. They're 27 and 25.
Please tell them I said hello.
I absolutely will. When I get off here, I'll text them both and tell them.
Okay, great.
Thank you. I
Thank
hope to
you
see you
so
next
much.
time. And don't forget, you'll have the
You-
recording if you wanted to go back and paint it again.
Okay.
Thanks. Nice
Have a
seeing you.
great night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Aw, she was my girl's favorite bus driver.
You have a daughter named Sydney?
I do. I have a daughter. I have a Sydney and a Samantha.
Oh, okay, because I saw Wendy today and I know I can't, for some reason I can't, my view is hidden. I was in your class last night and I mentioned we're talking about Miss McGuinney.
Yes.
And I asked Wendy today, because she remembers you from the preschool, Miss McGuinney's preschool. She was like, help collect the money. Wendy Nosala?
I remember Wendy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she said to ask if you had a daughter named Sydney. I said I
Yes.
would. Yeah.
I do remember Wendy because Wendy is a more rare name.
Yes.
So that's how I remember. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I have a daughter. So, and yes, Sydney is my younger one. She's the one that's 25.
Okay, yeah, that's fun. In a small world.
I know, right? Yeah. We love Miss McWinnie. Sydney is the one who is living in Costa Rica right now.
Yeah, I mentioned that. I didn't know which one, but I heard you was talking about that.
Yeah, that's my 25-year-old.
Nice.
She'll be home. What's today? The 13th? She'll be home in about 6 weeks.
Very nice.
So, okay. Switch again. Okay. Both of these are fairly dry. That's really good. So I'm going to just go back to my watermelon for now. I'm going to use my liner brush. And like before, when I showed you when we use our liner brush, we just put it in the side and we want to twirl it because we want it to have a little point so we can use it like to write with or like a pencil. And I'm just going to go in and add little lines for our seeds. If you push down and then pull up, you can kind of get your seed a little fatter on top and a little narrower on the bottom. And I like to put one up here as if somebody like bit into it. And you just want a few, not too many. And then I'm going to wash my brush again. Because that's all we're going to come back to this again. We're going to add little specks of white on our seeds. But for now, I'm going to wash my liner brush. So we have our ornaments. Now, we can take our liner brush and our greens or our whites and make curves and go around the outsides. We can dip into our white with the back of our brush and just make polka dots on our ornament. We can use our fat brush and go in our white and make a wide band. In our ornament, which clearly I'm doing now because now I did it. I need more white. And I make this band the width of my brush. And I can go in here and I can pick up some of this green. And I can go in here and I can add a stripe above and below my white in the green. And I'm just pulling and wiggling my brush. When I run out of paint, I pick up some more. Then I can use the back of my brush in my green. And maybe add dots. And when I add dots and something like this, and I want it to be even, I'll put one in the middle, one on each end, and then I'll split each of those areas. So they're fairly in the middle. I mean, I'm not going to get out a ruler and measure, but you know, they're pretty straight when you do it like that, or pretty even rather when you do it like that.
Oh,
I can go down here and now pick up white with my liner brush and paint a thinner line down here and a thinner line up here. And if you see, mine is a little off because I like, if I was going to try and make mine be perfect to the top, that's a little harder to do. So I don't mind making mine a little bit off, because then when I put the Velcro on it, I'm going to put it on my sign a little tilted too. This way we don't have to worry about it being exactly perpendicular and straight, because we put it on a tilt, and then when we put it on our sign, we put it on a tilt. So I can pick up some more white and put some dots down here. Okay. I can use my white and I can make some scallops. So really this part is however you want it to be. Oh, who's huffing?
me,
Who's me? Who's me huffing?
Lisa,
Lisa, there's no huffing in painting.
my, I don't know if my brush has a fine enough point, but I can't seem to be able to make a thin line.
If you can't make a thin line, pick up
Yeah.
the tiniest bit of water. Dip your tip of your brush in water. Just your tip of your brush and mix it into the paint a little bit. Maybe your paint is a little thick. We've been painting for over an hour. Your paint might have been sitting out. It might have gotten a little bit sticky. So just dip the tip of your brush and then mix up a section and thin your paint a little bit. Roll it out.
Okay, roll it out, okay.
Roll it out, and that should help. And then not
Okay.
too much pressure. Hold it down further and not too much pressure, and just use the tip. And see how I'm pulling my whole hand? I'm moving my whole arm from my shoulder.
Okay.
Like that. So if you hold it down, the further down, the more control you have over it. And you can just put the very tip on there and pull down with your whole arm. Like that.
Okay. That was better.
Okay. And
yes,
I'm glad it's better, and I'm glad you like it better. Don't forget, if you're not happy with it, you wait for it to dry. You guys have plenty of paint, and you can paint back over it,
redo it.
redo it, or turn it over and do the other side.
True, true.
So. And I, this is what it took me a very long time. It was easier for me to learn how to paint something like this, like where I showed you at the beginning where I double load my brush and it's
Yeah.
stroke and stroke and stroke. It took me a lot longer to do something silly like this and be a little bit more free and loosey-goosey with my painting than it did for me to do this. It's just, I don't know. So I can understand the frustrations. I'm just playing here and giving you guys some options, and if, to make it your own or however you want it to be. And then I'm going to, I washed my liner brush, I put that there, and I'm washing my big brush too, because I'm gonna add black to the top of this for the ornament holder, top of it. Okay, dried my brush, squeeze out all the water, get some black, and I'm just gonna come in here and paint the top of this. There we go. And when we get done, I'll hold up my watermelon and my ornament too for you guys to take a screenshot if you want.
I forgot to clean off the big brush with the white.
Yeah.
And I did it I dipped it in the black, and look what happened.
What happened?
Look.
Oh, I can't see. Where are you?
I'm Karen.
Yeah.
It's like streaked, so it almost looks like a little silvery.
That looks good. That's funny. Yep. Because I'm going to take white. I'm going to add white to mine anyway. Now you don't have to. Nope. I have my liner brush and I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to do the same thing up here that we did to our the top of our pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
I just added a little bit of highlight to that. I'm going to add a little white to that too.
Now I don't have to do that.
Now you don't have to do that because you already have both colors. You double loaded and you didn't even know it.
That's it.
I'm also going to take, now that I have my white liner out with my white paint, and put the tiniest little of white dots in the center of my watermelon seeds. Doesn't that just add like such a difference? Use the very, very corner of my liner brush and just added a little bit of white in each of the seeds. Get those details in there. So there is our watermelon, and there is our ornament. Like I said, when I put the Velcro on my ornament, I always, well, not when I put the Velcro on, but when I stick it to my sign, I put it a little bit tilted. So if you want to take a screenshot, here are these two guys. I'll cover my face. Fine. So that is all 4 of our pieces and our pumpkin. So, and we'll peel off the stencil material from our home sign. And these two. And these, since these are inside, and this paint has a sealer in it, I usually don't spray these, but you can spray if you want to spray your sign and all your individual pieces with a clear sealer, especially if you were gonna keep it in the kitchen, and then you could wipe it with a damp rag if you wanted to. That's up to you. Still give it up to like 48 hours for the paint to set and dry before you spray it.
I bought that Rust-Oleum today, the matte clear
Oh, good.
enamel.
Uh-huh.
So that you just use that, right, for the one that I made last night. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yeah, put like, you can do it in the grass, but I just do it in the driveway. Just lay
Okay.
everything flat, including the home sign, lay it flat. Don't stand it up because you might get runs.
Okay,
So lay it flat, follow the directions on the can and just give it a nice spray.
okay, okay.
Yeah, so you could wait since you're gonna do your gnome and then just do them all on the weekend or whatever.
Okay, thank
Can
you.
I see the watermelon again?
Yes.
Thanks. I don't have a picture. Oh, there, I see something now.
What'd you see?
A window and a ceiling.
Where?
There you are. Now I see you.
What do you see that I don't see?
If I could just see the melon again. So I lost you again.
Lost me again?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
there
I
it is.
just see. So you put the white on each one, but just like things. Okay.
A little dab of white on each of the seeds. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Can I see the ornament again?
Yes. And it might look black to you, but I did use the green. Not that you can't use black, I'm just saying. Oh, you know what else I'm gonna do? Let me get this out again. Let me switch you guys one more time. I want to add something to my ornament. Yep, I'm picking up more white and I'm going to trace my ornament. There we go. Look at that. I just added a border to it and it just adds so much to it. I was like, there's something missing.
The hook.
The hook, yeah. That too. Yeah. There's my ornament.
So now we're peeling off the.
Yep.
On the hook.
Yep, I'll get mine up. I'll switch my camera again. I'll lay it down here. Yeah. Get your finger under it. And there, mine peeled up. If part of it is stuck and you need to get it, you can use just the edge of a steak knife or a straight pin. I think scissors might be too fat. And then you'll put whichever is your single little dot of Velcro you'll put here. And then the other 4 will go on the back of each of these. And then you'll be able to change these in and out, however you want. Isn't that cute? Nice.
Because I want to put mine outside, but in a covered area on my porch. So I would
Okay.
spray it.
I would still spray it because it'll still be out there. We live on Long Island. We know
Right.
it's very muggy.
Yeah,
So yeah, you still, and then if that's the case too, give the back a spray too.
I was just gonna say that. I should spray the back too.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So, and here you go. I know mine is backwards, but I'll show you. Isn't that cute?
Very cute.
Very nice. Thank you, thank you.
Here's my watermelon. And my flower. And like I said, if you guys work on it again, or you work on it tomorrow, or there's something you're not happy with, just message me and I'll hop on here with you. And we'll I want everyone to be happy and proud to display their projects. So if that means contacting me and we'll work on a little something for 5 or 10 minutes, I have no problem doing that. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys know where I am, and that is it. So,
Thank you.
you have any questions now?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, ladies. It was very nice painting with you all again.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful, wonderful night. And like I said, I will have the recording to Miss Angela tomorrow, and she, you know, she's pretty good about getting them out to you. And so happy painting. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Don't forget, when you do your brushes, lay them flat to dry. They're good brushes.
Are we gonna,
So what's that?
Teresa, are we gonna get a recording for what we did last night?
No,
The
there's no
gnome?
recording for the in-person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right,
no.
So just so I know. I
Yeah.
just was wondering what size pots they were. All right, yeah.
You know what we talked, so I was saying last night, what I've learned, there's no standardized sizes for pots. And so what I thought I was ordering from Amazon for 6-inch, 4-inch, and 2-inch were different than what I ordered from Michael's with a coupon that were 4-inch and 2-inch.
Oh,
But basically that's what I did. I had 3 different size pots, and you want the pots that fit over each other, as
over each
opposed
other,
to
okay.
sitting on top of each other if you're gonna make more or do another one. 'Cause it's easier
Yeah.
to glue it when it does this than when it does
Mhm.
this. And I use E6000 glue.
E6000.
Yeah,
Okay,
so if you
great.
were at the depot, or if you were at Lowe's, or you were at Michael's and you were in the section with the clay pots, play with them, configure them. And when you have 3 or 4 of them that sit on each other and graduate, you know, not
Mhm.
slide onto each other, but just sit onto each other like this,
Ah.
then you have a good set. And that's
Okay.
it. And then I
All right.
use the E6000 glue, acrylic paint, and then give everything a clear matte coat with Krylon or Rust-Oleum to put it outside.
Okay. That was just such a perfect class last night. I loved it.
Wasn't it cute? I
Right.
love them. I'm gonna actually,
Yeah.
so I have the 2 samples. I'm gonna paint the second sample and I'm gonna put them outside myself.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because I didn't
yeah,
finish
need-
the second one. I like to
need-
paint along.
Yeah, I need one more, so.
Yeah. And you know what? If you need one, I was also thinking to make them different sizes. Like you can have
Yes.
one larger
Like a
one, a
family.
smaller one,
Mhm.
and then maybe 2 that are just 2 pots.
Yes, yeah.
They would be
Yeah, I'll
cute.
have to go play with the pots at Michael's.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so
So,
much.
I was
Those
at
were
the
the gnomes, you
Michael
think?
in
You're talking about the
Shirley.
gnomes?
Yeah, that was the gnomes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last week, the Michaels and Shirley had a decent selection. Because
Oh,
some of the
good.
ones that I had bought cracked. Not the one, so I had ordered the bulk of them, And then when I went to glue them together this weekend to get prepared for the class and open the boxes, some were cracked. So I was scrambling at Michael's, but they had plenty over the weekend. So
Good night, Teresa. Thank you very, very
thank you
much.
guys. Have a great night.
You too. Good night.
Thank you. It was great.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Me too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I gotta get out. I'm trying to